from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Carr. He's got this complete to Marcel Aitman. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Caught left side by Cobb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, Elliott. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
1st down, Prescott. Got a man, that's Allison. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Dancing to his left. He can run. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Raiders have recovered. So a first quarter fumble in the rain. And this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here. So they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball. Make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carr. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it with West. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw with Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Into the end zone, Oakland Raiders, touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They go play action here on 1st down. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. 180.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Crosby puts it through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. On 3rd down, that's West. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And his throw here's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here's Ty Montgomery, former star at nearby Stanford. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Second down, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Prescott. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing, Prescott. And it's caught. Touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now a toss. This is West. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. On the return, it's Jalen Marshall. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Prescott. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Carr going option right. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
To throw, it's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Marcel Aitman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Marshall now, the return. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Prescott now on second down. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Prescott from the gun on third. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And surprisingly, this... And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Carr. Bryant with a catch right side. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And as a result, possession switches hands.
We're going to 50.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The give is to Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Prescott on first down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Prescott from the gun. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. 3rd and long for Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. They'll roll him out right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
This is West. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Here now, Johnny Townsend standing just outside his own goal line. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That's taken it around the 40. Dodges him at the 50. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Fourth down, Prescott. And no, it's incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Caught by Nelson left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. Got an open man, it's Aikman. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
On 1st, here's Washington. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there. I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Here's Prescott. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 35. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Raider 1. 24.
Back to throw, Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jake Ryan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, it was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Prescott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Now Prescott. And now another one thrown incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now West. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll run again here with West. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Carr. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So it was a golden chance to go ahead here in the final moments, but he misses for a second time in this game.
Brandon, either one of those go, and they might be on their way to a victory. Instead, they're going to have to hold on here defensively just to force overtime.
He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing, Prescott. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. So 3rd down coming up. And Charles, I guess a question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be...
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And some room to maneuver. There he goes left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Raider 2. Now, you ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Carr going option right. And an alley to run. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. What can Carr do now with his drive? And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. That's one of those pivotal plays that'll just stick out in everybody's mind from this game. If he picks that off, what a momentum swing down here in the end zone.
And he did his job. He knocked the ball away, but it does feel like a letdown for him and his teammates, doesn't it? A chance to intercept it, turn it back over to his offense with a chance to win the game.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. The Raiders on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's West. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
93.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs roll around, so that means this one ends at a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us. We came here